The world reacts to the U.S. missile attack on Syria. The Senate confirms the Supreme Court nomination of Neil Gorsuch. The man accused of killing a Tecumseh police officer is now behind bars. This is OU Nightly.
Do more, but we hope that will not be necessary.
In the most significant military action of Donald Trump's young presidency, the United States launched a military airstrike on Syria.
The attack on the Assad regime was in response to Syria's chemical weapons attack that killed dozens of its own civilians. It was a 59-missile message that reverberated throughout the world. This video from Russian television shows what's left of the airbase that is believed to be the home of warplanes responsible for the chemical attack. The strike marks the first direct military intervention in Syria's 6-year civil war and also signifies a change in tone toward Syria for President Trump.
Using a deadly nerve agent, Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children.
During his presidential campaign, Trump opposed military action against Assad's regime, but was visibly moved by the images of the chemical weapons attack. Leaders around the world now await what's next.
Here at home, Oklahoma Congressman reacted to the crisis with strong words. Senator James Lankford said no one should expect the United States to ignore a dictator that commits war crime and uses chemical weapons against his own people. While Senator Jim Inhofe opposes Lankford's views by stating justified and appropriate response to the Assad regime's indiscriminate and heinous chemical attack on Syrian civilians. Representative Tom Cole believes Congress should have a robust debate and provide the president with the authorization for the use of military force.
One of the nation's foremost authorities on Syria is Joshua Landis, the head of OU's Center for Middle East Studies. Landis told KGOU the Syrian gas attack backed President Trump into a corner, forcing his hand to do what President Obama did not, take military action against Assad.
And he had to uphold that red line, and he had to do it in a way that would significantly raise the bar from what Obama had done, because he and many other Republicans had been so adamant about criticizing the president for not using military force.
Tori Johnson joins us now in the News Center with more on responses to the Syria attacks.
Russian President Vladimir Putin responded to U.S. missile attacks, insisting Syria does not possess chemical weapons and slamming the United States' actions. And at the UN, Russia's deputy ambassador did not mince words.
International law and an act of aggression. We strongly condemn the illegitimate actions by the U.S.
America's longtime ally, the United Kingdom, has backed the United States' missile strikes on Syria.
Because war crimes have consequences. And the greatest war criminal of all, Bashar al-Assad, has now been put on notice.
4 people are dead and 15 injured after a stolen truck plowed through a department store in Stockholm today. Sweden's prime minister said he believes it was an act of terror after heavily armed officers patrolled the streets in an extensive manhunt for the man pictured in the photo released earlier. An arrest has been made within the hour.
The nomination of Neil M. Gorsuch of Colorado to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States is confirmed.
After changing its rules in heavy debate, the Senate has confirmed Neil Gorsuch to replace the late Justice Antonin Scalia. The confirmation comes after a 54-45 vote in which 3 Democrats crossed the party lines. Gorsuch likely reinstates a conservative majority in the Supreme Court. And Harley, a group of woodcutters in India found a 12-year-old girl being raised by monkeys. When police came to get the girl, the monkeys protected her and chased them away.
Wow, a real-life Tarzan story. Thank you, Tori.
Unbelievable. Well, my mom is coming into town this weekend for Mom's Day, and now that the rain is starting to clear up, I'm hoping we can have some fun. Erica, is that going to happen?
Well, we are seeing current temperatures around the 70s, but I do expect some rain to move in during the weekend. But as of right now, across the state, we are seeing temperatures around the 70s, 76 in Norman right now, 75 in Oklahoma City, and even some 80s in the Panhandle, with Guyman seeing 81 degrees right now. So these temperatures are very warm, and as well as those winds are blowing very strong from the south. As you can see, this graphic shows us that those winds are blowing from the southwest at 16 miles per hour, in Oklahoma City 14 miles an hour, in Norman, and then the rest of the state, even some parts of the Panhandle, they're seeing wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. That is current winds. So yes, we are seeing a very windy day across the state. But in Maine weather, I will talk about our beautiful Saturday that is expected tomorrow. We are expected to warm up for the weekend, some temperatures even up to the 80s, and we are expecting possibility of thunderstorms on Sunday. But I will talk about this and more in Maine weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you, Erica.
A man charged with the shooting death of a Tecumseh police officer has been booked in jail. According to the online records, 36-year-old Byron James Shepard of Okemah is being charged with first-degree murder in the death of police officer Justin Turney. Shepard was booked shortly after Turney died on March 27th after being shot a day earlier by Shepard in what was meant to be a traffic stop.
A former OU football player is being charged with prostituting a former OU cheerleader. 22-year-old Lawrence Charles Moore and 23-year-old Micah Madison Parker were arrested last week on prostitution and drug complaints. Both were charged in Oklahoma City County District Court on Thursday with multiple felonies, including receiving proceeds from prostitution and a computer crime.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, an Oklahoma judge doesn't much like what he saw in 60 Minutes.
Plus, a liquor law could change when we could buy liquor. Oklahoma lawmakers have advanced 3 proposals that will bring changes to the state's liquor laws. If they become law, the bills would allow liquor stores to be open as early as 8 a.m. and stay open to as late as midnight. Another bill would allow a county vote for liquor stores to be open on Sunday. One Norman liquor owner says that regardless of the bill, being open on Sunday won't affect his business.
Sundays I could see noon to 5 or something like that, 1 to 6 people coming home from church and they want a bottle of wine with their Sunday dinner. I mean, I understand that. And so I could see making some sales on Sundays. I don't think it's anything that's going to make or break me.
The 3 measures now go to a full House vote.
New developments at OU were on the menu for today's meeting of OU Alumni Club presidents. The Alumni Association allows for graduates to stay connected to the university even after graduation. There are 115 OU alumni clubs all over the world.
We share ideas, share best practices in an effort to help all of us be as good as we can possibly be. So we do that every other year. We gather our club leaders together and really just have fun.
Each club helped raise scholarships money to help OU students pay for their tuition.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, Erica Lopez will give us the weekend weather details. Stick around.
Welcome back to OU Nightly Weather. As our live shot is showing us, these are from the tennis courts by Lode Noble Center, and we can see that it's a very beautiful day outside. Current temperatures are very, very warm right now, and as we can see that these warm temperatures are at 76 degrees in Norman. Currently, those winds are still blowing from the south, very strong at 17 miles an hour, and that dew point at 44 degrees. So yes, we are seeing a very lovely day across Norman today, but this graphic as well shows us that in the next few days we are expecting some chances of storms for Sunday, and this graphic shows us that this is the outlook for severe weather. Although chances will mostly stick for the northeastern part of the state, we are watching this as this event comes closer. But this radar also shows us that in the next few days, we are going to expect that beautiful Saturday, and those winds are going to continue blowing from the south. But then this is the main thing that we are watching for is Sunday, when a line of storms comes through our area. And the main precautions for these storms are hail and winds, but we are expecting very low chances of tornadoes, so nothing to worry about. But we are going to expect to see a very rainy week the next coming weeks. So we are expecting to see that these conditions will stick around with us for the next few days. As you can see, the 7-day shows us that those temperatures will be around the 70s. We are expecting to see a rainy Sunday and Monday, and then we do get a break on Tuesday, but then the rest of the week we are expecting to see more rain chances come into the area. So be prepared with that umbrella and rain boots because it's going to be very rainy next week.
All right, great, Erica. I'll make note of that. Well, that's it for us tonight, but stick around. We got sports coming up. Reagan Ledbetter is going to tell us about a big weekend ahead.
Thanks, guys. We have a couple of Sooner squads heading on the road this weekend. Plus, the spring game is less than 24 hours away. Sports is coming next. And welcome to this week's edition of Big Friday Sports with your favorite makeup-wearing sports guys.
Reagan, weren't you supposed to be in court today? I know you've collected a couple parking tickets on campus lately.
Oh, was that today? No, just kidding. No court for me today.
All right, well, you have something finally in common with Baker Mayfield. The Sooner quarterback did not appear for his court hearing today, but he did plead not guilty to charges of public intox, disorderly conduct, fleeing, and resisting arrest from a Fayetteville incident in February.
And speaking of football, spring has sprung, and that means it's football time in Oklahoma. The Sooners' annual red and white spring game is tomorrow. This will be the first chance for fans to see the squad in action without top stars P. Ryan Mixon and Dede Westbrook. On the plus side, they will get to see guys like JUCO transfer Marquise Brown, Abdul Adams, and of course Baker strut their stuff. In other news, baseball hybrid Kyler Murray will be playing Saturday. He will play baseball in Austin tonight, fly back for the spring game tomorrow, and then fly back to Austin for Sunday's game.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a little unique, but I think everybody, Kyler first has handled it good, and which like he said, he needs to. Nobody made him. I mean, nobody made him play both. He's the one that decided he wanted to.
Speaking of baseball, Pete Hughes has his Sooner squad off to its best start since 1985, and they're back in action this weekend in Austin, taking on Texas. Oklahoma has taken the first two Big 12 series for the first time since 2014, with wins over Baylor and third-ranked Texas Tech. Rene Martinez is coming off a Player of the Week honor, and with senior Austin O'Brien back from injury, the Sooners bring in a potent offense against the Longhorns. But Pete Hughes still has a recipe for success for his squad this weekend.
All right, no extra base runners. Okay, let's play clean defense. Right. Execute fundamentally on the offensive side. Don't try to do too much. Right, functional allowance, situational hit, ball in play, and good things will happen. You don't have to be extraordinary, right? Just play clean baseball, and I think we have to do that in Austin.
Well, plenty of cars will be headed from Norman to Austin this weekend as the softball teams will collide down there as well. The Sooners have hit their stride on their current 9-game win streak. OU opened Big 12 play last weekend as they tore apart Iowa State before a midweek win over Arkansas. The weekend will be a tougher test as the Sooners head into Austin for their first-round conference road trip of the season. The Longhorns head into the weekend with a different story as they are 0-3 in Big 12 play.
Women's gymnastics off until next weekend, but the men are in action out west for the MPSF championships. The top-ranked Sooners will take on Air Force Cal and Stanford on Saturday.
Well, the men's tennis team is off as well, but the women are hosting the Kansas schools in conference action all weekend. Blakely Durham is live at the Headington Center with a preview. Blakely?
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm here live outside the tennis courts, where the women are just moments away from taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. I talked to the team earlier this week about their tough loss against Texas Tech last weekend and how they're preparing to get their first Big 12 win.
What we need to do better this weekend is basically building on what we did at Texas Tech. I feel like we went into that match and found the right approach to deal with these Big 12 matches. We need to be just as fearless as we was at Texas Tech.
our biggest focus in match against Kansas would probably be just playing free. We focused a lot on growth, and that's our biggest focus at the moment. And a lot of times we'll go into matches and we'll play a little bit too tight, and we end up losing because of that. So our coach is definitely trying to get us to play a little bit more free, and that's the only way we're going to grow.
We tend to think match by match, point by point, and court by court. So we have a lot of tennis to play, and when you put your head down, you get to work. Those things happen very organically, and I think that's the key here, is that we stay true to what's going to help us to create success overall.
The team has another match tomorrow at noon against Kansas State, and it is senior day, so make sure to come out and support your OU women's team as they send their seniors off. That's it for now, guys. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Blakely. Now to golf. OU's Brad Dahlke shot a second-round 75 today at Augusta National for a two-day total of 153, 9 over par. In uncharacteristic windy conditions, he won't play the weekend, which is too bad because it's shaping up to be quite a good one. Right now, Charlie Hoffman, Sergio Garcia, and Thomas Peters share the lead at 4 under par. Some Thursday round one highlights. A familiar face, Phil Mickelson, one of the few who could work his way around under par. A 1 under 71 for lefty. Jordan Spieth, the 2015 champ, followed up last year's final round quadruple bogey at 12 with an opening round quad at the par 5 15th. Spieth put 1 in the water, 1 over the green, and 3 putted his way to carding a 9 on the hole. He finished round 1 at 3 over. But the story of the day, no doubt, was green glove wearing Charlie Hoffman. On a day when the second best score was a 69, Hoffman dropped a 7 under 65 on the field for a 4-shot lead heading into today's play.
How about that? Well, still to come on Big Friday Sports, the face of Oklahoma City looks to make history tonight.
And we'll catch up with one former Sooner superstar. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. Reagan, you know who's had quietly a solid second half of the NBA season? Our old friend Buddy Hield, also known as Chavano.
Yes, he has. Maybe a change of scenery is all a guy needs.
That's a good point. Last week, we showed you our own Holden Kruzmark tracked down former OU pitcher John Gray in Scottsdale, Arizona for an interview. Well, our roving reporter is back at it, this time catching up with former OU Hoops superstar Buddy Hield in Phoenix.
It's been a full year since the Sooners and Buddy Hield were on college basketball's biggest stage in Houston.
The great moments, you can't forget about that. Even seeing the build-up of it makes you think back on how special it was.
Since then, it's been a wild ride for the former Wooden Award winner, going from getting drafted 6th overall by the New Orleans Pelicans to being traded to the Sacramento Kings just halfway through his rookie year.
It's been wild, just adjusting to every city and the culture, and with the life in New Orleans, everything is all about the food. California, everybody's about the weather. Bahamas about the weather. Kansas is about the cold. And, Oklahoma's about the cold. And you get tornadoes and everything. So you get a mixture of everything.
Mentally adjusting to the NBA can be one of the hardest parts for a young player.
Trying to focus and learn the mental aspect of the game and just be physically ready every day and just come out ready to compete. In this game you can't take no nights off because everybody's a professional and everybody's capable of going 30 a night on you, so you get ready each and every night.
Tonight here in Phoenix on the court is just another game for the young shooting guard, but off the court it's been a bit of an adjustment. He's playing for his 3rd team in the past year.
But I feel like I had a piece of everything, and just it's a blessing, God put me in a position for a reason, so just everywhere I go, I'm just taking advantage of the opportunity I got, and I learn about the cities, and a lot of people are saying me my situation right now, so I can't really complain about it.
Through his first 10 games with the Kings, Hield has already been earning high praise from his new head coach.
He's a terrific human being and just a great get for our organization, and we're happy to have him. He's an elite shooter, just a good teammate, and certainly he's got a tremendous skill set of being able to shoot the basketball and a work ethic that, we're going to be young for the next couple of years, and you're going to want people that want to be in the gym, that want to be coached, and want to get better, and that he's right in there on that.
With all the ups and downs that come with being an NBA rookie, it's Hield's positive mindset and robust work ethic that have him primed to be a standout and fan favorite for a long time in Sacramento. Holden Kruzmark, Big Friday Sports.
Well, can you say MVP? All eyes will be on the Thunder tonight in Phoenix, but even more so on their star, Russell Westbrook. Russ enters the game tonight just 6 assists shy of averaging a triple-double for the season. While that is pretty cool, I can do one better. Russ is also just one triple-double away from passing legend Oscar Robertson for the most in a season with 42. In other news, the Suns are on a 13-game skid. The Thunder are looking to cut down their 2.5-game deficit to the Clippers. Tip-off is at 9.
And opening week for Major League Baseball is just about in the books. We do still have some teams on pace to go, 62-0, but others like the Texas Rangers, Reagan, on track for a winless regular season.
Touche, Carson Williams, but my Yankees aren't looking much better, sitting at a solid 1-2, but the season is still young. It has been a wild week, first week in baseball, but the only thing more wild would be a pitcher leading the league in homers. Oh, wait, it actually was the case for the Wild this week as Cy Young candidate Madison Bumgarner went yard twice in the opener on Sunday. It took a two-home run day for Yasiel Puig yesterday to knock the pitcher off the top spot. Who says pitchers are an easy out?
Good start to the week for the Redbirds, but not for Stephen Piscotty. Took a shot to the elbow at the plate, then again sliding into second. All that, though, capped off, no pun intended here, with a shot to the noggin, sliding in home right there. Would not recommend that. Ouchtown, population you, bro.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Big Friday Sports, brought to you by Gaylord's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.
And hey, be sure to tune in Monday for a recap of everything going on this weekend. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night.